In this chapter, we have studied connectedness. In the previous module, we have discussed about connected spaces and path connected spaces. We have examined various types of connected spaces, path connected spaces and disconnected spaces. For example, we have seen that R is a path connected spaces, that means connected spaces. Whereas topology sine curve is a connected spaces which is not path connected. Again, if we consider RL or set of rational numbers with the induced topology from R, then that is a disconnected topological spaces. Again, if we delete one point from the real line, that also becomes a disconnected topological spaces. What is the difference between these two types of disconnected topological spaces? One is a point deleted from the real line and another is say RL. If we observe closely, then we can see that if we delete one point from R, then it remains there remains two connected pieces. But we can't say anything like this in case of RL. So what are the connected subsets of RL, or what are the connected subsets of the set of irrational numbers? Again, if we see the topologist sine curve, then we can observe that here only one connected subset has, the whole space is connected, but it is not connected, but it is not path connected. In fact, the image of the sine function, this is one part which is path connected and another part is situated in the horizontal line. These both two are path connected part, but the total space is not path connected. So this motivates us to discuss which are the maximal connected sets in a topological spaces. It will be called component or path component. So let us go to the slide presentation. So as we discussed, we will go to find what are the maximal connected subspaces of a topological space. Clearly, if a topological space is connected, then maximal connected subspace will be itself. So in fact, we have to find for disconnected topological space. Let us start with the following definition. Let X be a topological space. Let us define a relation on X which we shall call as connectivity relation by saying that P is related to Q if there exists some connected subset of X containing both P and Q. We can prove that connectivity relation is in fact an equivalence relation. It is not difficult to prove. In fact, reflexivity and symmetry comes as free. We have to say about something about transitivity relation. For transitivity relation, let P and Q be related and Q and S be related, where P, Q, S be 3 points of the topological space X. Now since P and Q are related, then there exists a connected set containing both P and Q. Again, as Q and S are related, then there exists a connected set containing both Q and S. Now both of these two connected sets contain Q. So their union is also connected. That means P and S are contained in some connected space. So P and S are related. That means the relation we have defined is an equivalence relation. The equivalence relation we have discussed here will be called from now as connectivity relation, and the corresponding equivalence classes will be called as components. Let us come to the following lemma. For a topological space X, the components are exactly the maximal connected subsets of X, that is, connected sets that are not contained in any larger connected set. Proof. Let Q belongs to X and let A be a component of X containing the point Q. Now let B be the union of all connected sets containing Q. Then B itself is connected, as union of connected sets is connected if they have some common point. Again, this is maximal connected subset. Now if P belongs to B, then P and Q lie in the connected subset B. So P is related to Q and thus P belongs to A. Conversely, if P belongs to A, then P is related to Q by the connectivity relation. So P lies in some connected subset containing Q. Since B is the union of all such subsets, so P belongs to B. This completes the proof. Now let us discuss some properties of components. For a topological space X, each component will be a closed subset of X, and any connected subset of X is contained in a single component. For the proof of the fact that every component is closed, we recall the fact that closure of any connected subset is connected. Now, since components are maximal connected subsets of that topological space, so closure will be connected. Now, to prove that any connected subset of a topological space X is contained in a single component, if possible, let a connected subset A be contained in two connected subsets of X, say B and C. Now, if B and C, if both are components, then what happens? Then B union C is again connected. That means two components B and C is contained in a component. So in that case, B must be equal to C. This proves that every connected subset of a topological space is contained in a single component. Now, we shall come to the fact that path connectivity. We have discussed previously that path connected spaces are much more stronger spaces with respect to connectivity. That means each path connected set is connected, but not every connected set is path connected. For example, we already know that topologist sine curve is an example of a connected space which is not path connected. As we already discussed, a connectivity relation for a topological space X, we can also introduce a path connectivity relation for a topological space X. We introduce the notion in the following way, that let X be a topological space and PQ be 2 points in X, then P and Q will be related if they are contained in some path connected subset of the topological space X. That means if there exists some continuous function f from the unit interval to x such that f starts at P and f ends at Q. Now, we want to prove that the path connectivity relation is also an equivalence relation. First, we note that if there exists a path f from the closed interval ab to x, from x to y, whose domain is the interval closed interval ab, then there is also a path g from x to y having the closed interval CD as its domain. This follows from the fact that any two closed intervals in R are homeomorphic. Now, the fact that x is related to x by path connectivity relation for each x in x follows from the existence of constant path f from closed interval ab to x defined by f of t is equal to x for all t belongs to closed interval ab. Now, to prove the symmetry relation, that means if is given x is related to y by path connectivity relation, then we have to prove that y is related to x by the path connectivity relation. Now, if x is related to y by path connectivity relation, then there exists a continuous function f from the closed unit interval 0 1 to x such that f of 0 is equal to x and f of 1 is equal to y. Now, if we define g from closed unit interval 0 1 to x by the rule g of t is equal to f of 1 minus t, then g starts at y and ends at x. That means y is related to x by the path connectivity relation, hence x and y related and y and x are also related. That means the relation is symmetric. Now, to prove the transitivity relation, let x and y be related by the path connectivity relation and y and z be related by path connectivity relation. We have to prove that x and z are also related by path connectivity relation. Now, since x and y are related by path connectivity relation, there exists a continuous function f from closed interval 0 1 to x such that f of 0 is equal to x and f of 1 is equal to y. Again, since y and z are related by path connectivity relation, then there exists some continuous function g from closed unit interval 0 1 to x such that g of 0 is equal to y and g of 1 is equal to z. Now we can construct a new continuous function in the following manner, such that f of 2t when t less or equal to half greater or equal to 0 and g of 2t minus 1 when t less or equal to 1 greater or equal to half, then this function becomes continuous by pasting lemma, and this shows that there exists a path from x to z. That means x and z are related by this path connectivity relation. This proves that path connectivity relation is also an equivalent relation. Till now we have discussed about components and path components. What are the components? Components are maximal connected subsets or alternatively equivalence classes generated by the connectivity relations. And what are the path components? Path components are the equivalence classes generated by the path connectivity relation. We have observed that components are closed, but for path components they may not be closed. Why? Components are closed because the fact closure of connected subsets are connected, but we don't have any such result about path connected subsets. For example, we can think of topology sine curve. So we have to find some properties about path components. We have to examine when path component and component will be same. In the following discussions we will do that. Let us proceed to slide presentation. We have observed the path connectivity relation is an equivalence relation. Now the equivalence classes generated by this equivalence relation, that is path connectivity relation, is called path components. Now let us examine some properties of path components. Let us consider a topological space X, then each component is contained in a single component. To prove this, let us recall the fact that each connected subset of a topological space is contained in some unique component. Now, as path connected subsets are already connected, so path connected subsets are also contained in some unique component. Now let us prove that each component is a disjoint union of path components. If a component is already a path component, then nothing to prove. Now if the component is not path connected, then by the path connectivity relation we get different equivalence classes on this. Then these equivalence classes becomes path connected. So every component can be expressed as disjoint union of path components. Another property, if a subset of X is path connected, then A is contained in a single path component. The fact behind the proof of this result is that union of two path connected space is path connected if they contain some common point. So, to prove this, let A be contained in two path component C and D. Then since C and D have common part as A, then union of C and D is again path connected. Now C and D both being path component, it should be that C is equal to D. So A is contained in a single path component. We have already told that topology sine curve is an example of a connected space which is not path connected. Here we have two path component. One is the image of the sine function and another is singleton set 0 Cartesian product minus 1 to 1. Now let us introduce another notion called locally connected spaces. In fact, we shall introduce the notions of locally connected space and locally path connected space, and our main interest is to examine when connected spaces will be path connected. To do this, we will require locally connected spaces and locally path connected spaces. Let us first define the locally connected spaces. We say that a space will be called locally connected if every point of it has a neighborhood which is connected. That means if P belongs to X and any neighborhood U of P, there exists a connected neighborhood V of P such that P belongs to V is contained in U. Similarly, we can define locally path connected spaces. That means a space X is said to be locally path connected if for any X belongs to X and any open set U containing X, there exists a path connected open set V containing X which is contained in U. Clearly, any locally path connected space is locally connected. The Sorgenfrey line is not locally connected. A space can be connected but not locally connected. For example, topology sine curve is an example of a connected space which is not locally connected. In fact, if we take an open neighborhood of the point 0 0, then that will be disconnected. So at the point 0 0, that means at origin we can't find any connected neighborhood. Now the following lemma says that if X is locally connected, then each component of X is open. Remind that we have already proved that every component is closed. So to prove that for a locally connected space every component is open, first assume that X is locally connected and A be a component of X. Now if P belongs to A, then P has a connected neighborhood U by local connectivity, and this neighborhood must lie entirely in A. Thus, every point of A has a neighborhood in A. In other words, A is open. This proves that locally connected space, every component is open. Next, if X is locally path connected, then each path component of X is open. Its path components are the same as its components, and it is connected if and only if path connected. So, this lemma gives us our final target. To prove that, let us assume that X is locally path connected. The same argument with connected replaced by path connected shows that each path component is open. Now let Q belongs to X and A be the component containing Q and B the path component. Now we know that B is subset of A and A can be written as a disjoint union of path components, each of which is open in X and thus in A. If B is not only the path component in A, then the pair B and A minus B is a separation of A, which is a contradiction because A is connected. This proves that A is equal to B. So, we have examined locally connected spaces and locally path connected spaces. We also observed that if a space is locally path connected, then every component is also path component, and a space X is connected if and only path connected, provided that the space is locally path connected. That is, for locally path connected spaces, a space is connected if and only if it is locally path connected. Now, I will end this section with an example which shows that there exist some spaces which are path connected but not locally path connected. We have seen that topologist sine curve is an example of connected space which is not locally connected. Now, if we take a point on the image of the sine function, now join this point by a path from that point to say 0 1, then we get a path connected space which is not locally path connected space. With this, we end this module.